Friendship used to have an address, a classroom, a hallway, a bus stop, a football ground, a bench outside a place you did not even like. You never thought about it back then because when you are young, friendship feels like weather. You sit near someone, you see them again tomorrow, then again. Then one day they say something stupid, you laugh, and somehow this random person becomes part of your life. No strategy, no calendar, no, let's find a date that works for both of us. No adult admin. Just a place, a rhythm, and the same faces appearing again and again. Then adulthood arrives, and friendship loses its address. That is the part nobody explains. Most adults do not suddenly become lonely in one dramatic scene. There is no background music. No final goodbye. It's quieter than that. Someone moves, someone changes jobs, someone gets married, someone gets busy, someone says, we should catch up soon. And somehow, soon becomes a storage room for friendships that are technically still alive. You still have people in your phone. You still know what everyone is doing. Someone went to Bali. Someone got promoted. Someone is suddenly into running. Someone bought a dog, and now the dog has better social skills than most adults. So, from the outside, it looks like connection still exists. But then something real happens. Something good. Something bad. Something embarrassing. Something heavy. And you open your contacts. You scroll. And for a second, your phone stops looking like a phone. It looks like a menu where nothing feels right to order. Not because nobody matters, but because there are very few people you can call without first rehearsing the message in your head. That is when the glitch shows up. You have access to people, but not closeness. And the usual explanation is simple. Adults are busy. Adults are tired. Adults have responsibilities. Adults become antisocial. And yes, all of that is partly true, but it is too shallow because being busy does not explain why friendship used to happen. Children are not exactly emotionally stable. Teenagers are not organized human beings. Students are broke, dramatic, insecure, confused, and somehow still make friends because they sat near someone who also hated the same subject. So maybe adults did not forget how friendship works. Maybe friendship used to be carried by invisible systems. But most human connection is built from boring things. You do not become close to someone only because of one deep conversation. You become close because you see them when nothing important is happening. When they are tired, when they are annoyed, when they are laughing at something stupid, when they are not performing. That is where friendship starts feeling real. School accidentally gave us this. School was not romantic. It was mostly chairs, rules, bells, and people asking for pens they never returned. But school had one powerful feature. It made people reappear. You only had to show up. And because everyone else also had to show up, friendship had time to form. Adult life is different, full of people, but fewer repeated people. You meet someone once at an event. You have a good conversation. You think, this person is actually nice. Then the event ends. No natural second episode, just two separate lives going back to their separate schedules. And that is where many possible friendships die. Not because the connection was fake, because it had nowhere to repeat. That is the first glitch. Adult life gives us contact, but not enough continuation. And continuation is where friendship grows. But there is a deeper layer. Friendship does not only need a place, it also needs an excuse. This is something we rarely admit. A lot of friendship begins because there is an excuse to keep seeing someone. School is an excuse. Work can be an excuse. A team is an excuse. A class is an excuse. The excuse removes pressure. You do not have to say, I want to become closer to you as a human being. That would be terrifying. You just say, see you tomorrow. The system does the emotional work quietly in the background. That is why childhood friendship felt easier. Not because we were socially perfect, but because life kept giving us excuses. Adulthood removes many of those excuses. Now, if you want to see someone, it has to become intentional. And intention is heavier than routine. You have to text. You have to suggest. You have to risk sounding too eager. You have to wait for the reply. You have to pretend you are very relaxed about the reply, even though part of your brain is sitting there like a small detective. This is why adult friendship can feel weirdly exposed. As a kid, friendship could hide inside routine. As an adult, friendship has to announce itself, and that makes every new connection feel more fragile. There is a strange category of adult relationship that exists because of this. The almost friend. The person you could have probably become close to, but there was no structure around it. No shared routine, no easy reason to meet again. So they stayed in that waiting room between stranger and friend. Not close enough to call, not distant enough to forget, just there. That is one of the saddest glitches of adulthood. Not losing a friend. Losing the possibility of one before it even becomes real. And when this happens enough times, people start blaming themselves. Maybe I am awkward. Maybe I am boring. Maybe I do not know how to connect anymore. But sometimes the problem is not your personality. Sometimes the problem is that the friendship factory shut down. When we were younger, systems created friendship for us. College, neighborhoods, teams, these things created a social architecture. When that structure exists, friendship feels natural. When it disappears, friendship starts feeling like personal failure. And once friendship becomes personal effort, it enters the next glitch, the admin department. Adult friendship often does not end because two people stop caring. It ends because caring is emotional, but meeting is logistical. You meet someone, you like them. Then reality walks in holding a clipboard. What day works? What time? Where? How far? How much traffic? Suddenly, friendship has paperwork, and this paperwork kills momentum. New friendships need momentum. Old friendships can survive silence because they have history. You can disappear for months. Send one ridiculous meme, and somehow the friendship restarts. But new friendship cannot do that yet. Not because anyone did anything wrong, because the connection was still too new to survive friction. Then comes the final glitch, the one that hides the loneliness. Visibility. We now live in a time where you can know someone's life without being in their life. You know where they traveled, what they ate, what they bought, who they married, what gym they joined, what quote they posted at 2:17 a.m. That clearly means something happened. You are updated constantly, but updates are not relationships. They are signals, and signals are not presence. But because we keep seeing each other online, the brain gets tricked. It feels like connection is happening. Faces appear, names appear, but appearing is not the same as being available, and being visible is not the same as being known. That is why modern loneliness feels so strange. It does not always look like having nobody. Sometimes it looks like knowing everybody's updates and still not knowing who to call. So when adults struggle with friendship, the advice is always the same. Try harder, go out more, text first, join something, be more open, put yourself out there, and some of that can help. But it misses the bigger point. Friendship does not only need effort, it needs structure. It needs a place. Without those things, even good people slowly disappear from each other, just quietly. And you wonder what is wrong with you. But maybe that is not the right question. Maybe the better question is, what used to make friendship easier? That adulthood quietly removed. A lot of adulthood works like this. Something used to be handled by structure. Then the structure disappears. The responsibility lands on you. And when you struggle, the world calls it a personal problem. But sometimes it is not personal. Sometimes the system changed. Friendship did not become impossible. It became unsupported. And once you see that, if you start seeing the same pattern everywhere, that is the glitch.